Hello, I'm Lorna Marsh from Lorna Marsh Hypnotherapy. This is a series I'm doing at the moment, all about basically communication, connection, and confidence. So the three C's. I hope I've got that in the right order. I may not have done. I've decided today that I'm not going to use a script at all. So this is going to be quite a bit different to the other four that I've done, because this is video number 5 of 8. I just wanted to, get rid of the script really and be a bit more natural, because I'm severely dyslexic, and what I'm finding is, yes, the script keeps me on track, but it doesn't really show who I am as a person. So I thought I'd try this instead, because I really want you to get to know me, and I want to get to know the people that are listening, as this is a brand new channel. I've never used YouTube before, but I want to start trying to connect with people that maybe for whatever reason are on the fence about hypnotherapy, and so they want to find out more about it without having to commit to a session. And I want this to be a place where people can leave comments, and then in the videos after I've seen those comments, I can perhaps answer them. But as I said, this is part of a series all about confidence, communication, and connection. That's basically what I specialize in. Um, but I am able to support people with other things as well. But the reason why I specialise in those areas is, before I became a hypnotherapist, that's already what I was working in, so it made sense just to continue. I've worked in communication for at least, I'd say, 20 years now. I started off working with a company called At One Art Space, supporting children and adults with autism and other disabilities that affect communication. And then I worked with a company called Surrey Independent Living Council, helping people to set up care packages so that they could live more independently. But my main focus was always to help them work out what they actually wanted, because what I often found is that that question had never been directly asked, so they didn't actually ever know the answer. And I found it absolutely shocking that, a simple question such as what would you like and what would your perfect life circumstance look like had never been asked to these people. So I used to go into these meetings and try and work out that first, and then from that try and work out, how close we could get to that ideal scenario. But you need to know the kind of vision of what someone wants before you can even start to look at it. So I became more passionate about communication and connection, and then that leading to confidence in that job as well. And then I started working with Cruise when I moved to Hove. Cruise is a charity that supports people in bereavement, and obviously that's a very, very personal journey, and it's one that varies for every single person. The grief journey is never the same. The period of time of grief is never the same. Basically, nothing about it is ever the same. But there's patterns of grief that can be recognised and become understood by people who work in grief. So then you're in a position where you can tell people, this reaction is normal. You're not unusual, or it's not different to what I've seen before, but I'm really willing to support you through it. And then through working with grief, I then found out about hypnotherapy. And the way I've been trained, I kind of combined, sorry, can't speak, combined all my skills into that session. So when I'm working with someone, it's not just a case of having the session itself of hypnotherapy. I can provide counselling as well. But when we go through the session, we break things down in a way that the person is completely comfortable, completely relaxed. And when you're hypnotized, you're actually in more control than when you're not, which is something that a lot of people don't understand. And that's what I want to get across through my channel. You've got way more control over what you tell me when you're hypnotized than when you're not, because your conscious mind doesn't get in the way. So you're not thinking, what should I say? What shouldn't I say? What should I hold back? You're telling me literally exactly what you want to tell me, and you're holding back what you naturally want to hold back. So there's no effort. And you're not ever going to tell me your deepest, darkest secrets, of course, unless you want to. But yeah, it's one of those things. The session is completely yours and you are completely in control. But unfortunately, because of what people see on TV, they don't realize that, because obviously on TV it's a little bit more or a lot more dramatized than it is, in a normal session like the one I would be doing. But yeah, as I said, my main focus is communication, connection, and then that leads to confidence. Um, I'm really, really passionate about what I do because I believe in it. Um, During my training, especially, I saw loads of examples where people had just one session and they saw such a massive transformation. I thought to myself, I have to get involved in this. So I did all the training, which took a while, and I have left um, bereavement behind for now, because I really want to focus on building this and supporting people in this way. But it does not mean that I won't go back to it at some point, because they're all connected, and everything I've done forever has always been connected, but it's all come down to focusing on communication. Like, I've got 2 books out as well, and they also focus on communication, connection, and confidence. But I didn't consciously do that. It's just happened over time. So the fact that I had this opportunity through Cruise, the bereavement charity, to start training as a hypnotherapist was just amazing. I saw one webinar and I was just so taken by the concept, by the idea, by the transformations that I saw in the webinar, that I thought, I need my little piece of this. I need my slice of cake. So yes, as I said, I've trained and I've now got a website and this YouTube channel, which is brand new. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited by working with people, and I'm really excited by the opportunities that it's already given me and the ones that are coming forward. And I just can't wait to get to know you all and be part of it. When the last video, so video 4, went live, I was actually in hospital um, with some medical issues, but I'd scheduled it to go live on the correct date. So luckily I'd been organised, which I am occasionally. But yeah, I'd never scheduled it before. I just done it on the day I needed to. But yeah, luckily I must have had a sixth sense of knowing that I was going to be poorly. But when I was in hospital, due to my own disability, you can probably see my spare wheelchair in the back there. But I need support more than others in hospital. Obviously, I need the support for the issue I'm going in for, but I also need the support for my own disability. And often this creates such a lot of layers because, like they know how to help someone get better in hospital, but they don't necessarily know how to support someone with a disability that's not going to go anywhere and not going to improve. And you know, it's it adds so many layers, and so many people jump to 1,000 conclusions about my um academic capability, my level of understanding. If I'm disabled, then I must have learning difficulties, and I must be in this circumstance, and I must need care and for people to speak on my behalf. And it just gave me a really strong perspective on how important communication was. And it was really magnified because obviously I was sick, so I was not communicating in the same way that I usually would. And I just thought I've got to talk about it on one of these videos, because if someone's got a block of communication, it can change so much. And I really, really want to help with that. I really want to improve the situation. I really want to get rid of that block with you and help build your confidence and therefore grow your connections. And I just saw how important it was when I was in hospital and I was having to constantly say, you know, I do know what I need for my own care. I do know how I need you to support me. If you could just let me explain. And sometimes I went to two different hospitals, and in one hospital, they were absolutely brilliant. They just did everything, and they offered me everything, and they really listened, and they were really caring and really amazing. But they didn't have the expertise for my particular issue. And then I went to a second hospital, and they had the expertise for my particular issue, but they didn't have the communication skills and the understanding to let me explain. So lots and lots of things happened where I was just like, if you just let me tell you, I can tell you what I need. But I think it's just this preconceived idea of I have a disability, so I must have learning difficulties. But again, it just highlighted to me the importance of communication, and the importance of being seen, and the importance of being heard, and the importance of being understood, and how it makes individuals feel, both the person who is being seen and the person who's receiving. And I just wanted to talk about it because I don't know, I've had my disability for the whole of my life, and I'm 47 now. And even as an adult, when I'm trying to communicate, so many conclusions are met because I'm sitting down and I have a physical disability. But they are all wrong. I'm running my own business, I'm living in my own home, I run my own life, I run my own support needs, I run it all. I'm exhausted because I do so, but I do it. And I love my work, I love my life 99% of the time. And I'm, needing help in this hospital. And I'm thinking, you know nothing about my everyday life. I'm just presenting to you as quite a poorly individual, and you've joined the dots in completely the wrong way. So basically, what I want to do is join the dots in the right way for people and get rid of all their blocks so they can communicate and create connections in a confident way. And that's basically all I wanted to say to you today, with no script in sight. If you're interested in what I do, then please take a look at my Facebook page, which is Lorna Marsh Hypnotherapy, and my website, which is lornamarshhypnotherapy.com. And obviously, you can also look and um, watch the other videos that are also on this channel. Please feel free to subscribe. As I said, this is a very, very new channel, so there's only 5 videos on this channel at the moment, but I'm going to be doing a video every fortnight until I get to number 8, and then it won't be as regular, but I will obviously always be adding. But I'd love to get the subscriptions a lot higher, just simply so I know I'm supporting more people. But thank you very much for listening, and I really do hope you have a very nice day. Speak to you soon. Bye. Oh, at the end of most of my videos, I say see you in a fortnight. So see you in a fortnight. Bye bye.